Zelda 2 is one of my favorite of the Zelda
For real?
franchise.
Zelda 2 drives me crazy.
Well,
I kind of love hate Zelda 2. I like it and I don't, you know.
My thing with it is I get so frustrated in the last 2, maybe 3 dungeons, but like up until then, I played it so many times now that it's just kind of like clockwork. I don't even think about it when I'm playing. I just kind of. It's one of those games I
suck at Zelda 2, man. If you can beat it, good for you. I can't do it. It's too hard for me.
I did once. Just once. And
well, I never owned it as a kid, the other thing, you know. I only played at like at friends' houses, and I was like, what is this? This is not Zelda. I was like, what? And also the music drives me crazy. It was such like a cock tease, because everyone loves the Zelda theme, you know. And you got the intro, and then it goes into some bullshit. It's like, and I just didn't like that song as much, and I didn't like the tremolo on the instrument. You know. Yeah, there was so much tremolo. It was like, woo. And I was like, what is it, like a fake theremin or something? And it was like, it fucking drove me crazy, even as a little baby 8-year-old, you know. I was just like, Zelda, not Zelda. It was a trap. I got mad at Simon's Quest too. I was like, something is not right. This is not Castlevania.
Simon's Quest, one of the easier games to beat, but very obnoxious with the back and forth kind of thing.
The worst part, you know, it turns to night and it makes you wait like 10 times.
I think the angry video
just telling you it's nighttime.
Yeah,
he pointed that out. I love that guy, James Rolfe.
Yeah, him and Nostalgia Critic are both great. Which came first, The Invisible Man or the publishing rights?
Oh, publishing rights, I think. I'm pretty sure it was publishing rights. And I got to Schaefer and I asked him to do it. And like immediately after he did it, he was like, would you do a song on my album? I was like, absolutely, you know.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And
it all happened within the same like 2 weeks, both those songs.
So it really is kind of difficult to guarantee one or the other.
No, I'm sure it was publishing rights. It was just like, you know, it wasn't like there was months that elapsed between. It's like, you know, we did publishing rights, and while we were still talking about publishing rights, he was like, would you do one on my album? And I was like, yeah, sure, definitely.
Cool. One of the tracks off the new album, I had it on repeat in my car, is Bootstraps, which features Brian, I can never pronounce his last name correctly.
Faerie.
Faerie?
Yeah.
Okay. From I Fight Dragons.
Yeah.
Did you have to do any finagling with photo finish to get him on the record, since they're on an Atlantic subsidiary?
None. All I had to do was write Brian Mazzaferri appears courtesy of Atlantic Records in the liner notes. That's all I had to do. I had to do nothing. You know, before he was on the label, we were workshopping songs together for a brief period of time. Mm-hmm. He's an awesome writer, and he got a few people whose music he liked together. He's like, what if we all got together and just like workshop songs on the internet and just sent demos to each other? And I was like, cool, definitely. And we only did that for like 3 months. But this was in like 2009, and then they got signed. Stuff blew up. They didn't have time to do it anymore. But we talked about working together, and I knew it was something that, like, you know, we both wanted to do. I didn't know if logistics would get in the way, but I had this song with 2 vocal parts, and I was going to do them both myself, although, you know, I thought I'll take a shot in the dark to see if Brian is free and he can just do this. It's a pretty small part, and, you know, maybe he'd be down, probably do it in an afternoon. And he's like, absolutely, definitely. And I was like, is there anything I have to do for the label? And he's like, just in the liner notes, courtesy of Atlantic Records, that's all. So that was really cool. He handled everything. I didn't finagle at all. And, you know, that was really cool that that he was able to do it. So thanks to Atlantic for being pretty awesome about it.
Yeah. What's the best way to make a ham sandwich?
Fucking, I don't know. I would toast the bread, I guess. I guess you want to toast it.
Really?
Bro. Yeah, you get the flavor comes out of the ham and the cheese melts and
What kind of cheese?
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I go with like a Swiss. I don't know.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. I like it.
In the last
Eating a lot of
18
ham.
months, MC Chris, MC Lars, and you have all used Kickstarter to fund the production of an album or other project. But I think you were actually the first of the three to do that.
Trailblazer. Yeah.
Is Kickstarter, do you see it as like a way to bypass record labels, and do you think you'll use it for future albums?
I think it is a way to bypass the record labels. I think it's just one more option. It's far from the only game in town for an independent musician, but it's a good tool. It's a good option. I think the advantage of a Kickstarter campaign is that it is an event. There's a Kickstarter community who is just interested in finding and funding projects. The webpage is neat. It puts it all together in a package. There are rules you have to play by. It makes it a time limited thing, and there's a risk factor if you don't get your funding, you don't get any funding. So there's this event feel to it. It's not just like a web page you set yourself with as a fundraiser. Also, Kickstarter is now a brand. People know it's the legit site. They don't wonder if they're getting scammed. They know it's the real artist. So I think it's great. Would I use it again? I don't know, maybe. I am trying to cut down on my overhead. This album cost, a lot more than any album I've ever done. We did a physical release, but I don't know if that's really something I'm going to do again in the future. I wanted to do it once. I wanted to try to do it in the old traditional way with professional mastering and professional pressing. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of a real DIY internet progressive kind of guy, and I'm also kind of a minimalist. So I think I'll keep doing albums the way I used to before this album, which is just internet release. I think, I might start going to Bandcamp and having the option to charge instead of just doing all free releases. I might do an album that's like free MP3s and pay for FLAC, or I might do an album that's like, you have to buy it, you have to pay for the MP3s, but it's like $3, $5 or something. Not as much as a physical release would be. I'm not sure, but I think if you're not a touring artist, and I'm not a touring artist, I only play a few shows a year, there's really no need to have CDs anymore, unless you are in a genre where the audience specifically likes the physical medium, like jazz or some sort of niche indie rock subgenres where people really like CDs and vinyl. I think for most progressive independent internet-based artists, MP3s or other digital formats are the way to go. So I don't know if I'll need Kickstarter again. If my next project might not have the overhead this one did, and I hope it doesn't, because I was glad to do this, but it's been just over a year since the Kickstarter ended, and we're still finishing putting the special edition packages together. We haven't shipped the albums yet. Right now I'm waiting for Ty to upload one wave for the third disc of the special edition, and it's not just 3 discs. There's a special Sega Saturn style case. The 3 discs come. There is a poster that's signed and numbered, and there is an art book with chord charts and autobiographical write-ups about all the songs and lyrics, and it's a big fucking deal, and it's been harder to do than I thought logistically. So I'm looking forward to non-physical releases where there are no logistics to handle. So.
Cool. And that brings me to my final question. Will we see another Double Ice Backfire album, or was this kind of a one-off thing, do you think?
I don't know. I hope so. I hope we'll do another one. I can't guarantee it. Gotta get everything together again and see if Ty's interested in doing another album, and see if Ricky wants to do stuff on it, and see what happens. Maybe. We'll get this one out, see how the response is, see if we feel like doing another, see if I, want to do another, Weezer-style chiptune rock album.
Alright, well, Shael, sorry.
Yes, that's okay.
I want to thank you for taking the time to answer a couple of my questions.
Thanks for having me.
I will try to post this on YouTube in the next few days.
Awesome.